What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the North Shore 9 postgame show, powered by Primanti Brothers. I'm Neil. With me is Doug. Doug, Pirates lose again, 12-5. We get swept by the Brewers. How you doing?
I don't care anymore. Honestly, I just don't care. It's a terrible team. You play a team like a team in your division like the Brewers, and you want to see how you measure up. And we saw how we measure up. They have a better owner and a better general manager, and they have better players, and they have better development, and they have better coaching. They have a better approach at the plate, and they seem to have a better idea what their pitchers are doing. And they've got 40,000 people in the stands on a Wednesday afternoon. In fairness to the Pirates, the Brewers, their payroll is like $375 million. That? I'm sorry. Oh no, it's 113 million, a number that the Pirates could easily and comfortably achieve. I hope Bob Nutting's watching this game, because the Brewers are everything the Pirates should be trying to do and trying to be. Right? They don't have, they don't have Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani on that team. They got guys named Sal Frelick, and I don't even, who are these guys, right? But they do everything better than the Pirates.
I don't think Bob has watched a baseball game since 2015, to be honest. If I had to guess, I don't think he's actually ever sat down and watched one, because if he has, some things might be a little different around here.
Yeah.
There was a lot riding on this series today specifically, because our good friend in the Discord, RO3, said that if the Pirates get swept by the Brewers, he's going to live stream himself eating a live parrot. So,
I don't want to see that. Don't do
RO3.
Don't do that.
RO3.
I don't want to see
join the Discord to you get the Discord to live stream yourself eating the live parrot. I don't know what you were thinking. The Brewers are one of the best team in baseball, and the Pirates are the worst. So I don't know what this bet was, but
this sweep was predictable. I guess, I don't know. We had Skeens start a game, but still, we don't win all that often when Skeens pitches.
Yeah, we'll talk about it a little bit, but going into the series, I'm just going to take zero conclusions from this, because the Brewers are just playing out of their minds right now. And so it's it's hard to really take anything. With Skeens start yesterday, it's it's the Brewers. They're on some crazy thing. And again, that happened today. I believe we were outscored 31-7 the series.
31-6.
31-6.
Yeah.
Complete and utter brutal takedown from start to finish.
Yeah. We were never in it. We never looked like we were playing the same game. We never looked like we were playing in the same level. This was that first spring training game of the year where the major league team plays a community college, or the Pirates used to play the Manatee Community Junior College or whatever, and and this is like the 27 Yankees. We're not, we're in the same division, we have comparable payrolls, and we're not in any kind of league with the Brewers.
Sorry, I was wrong. 33-6. I couldn't even think about
the math is too much. Who can add up those large numbers? My calculator doesn't have that many,
Oh my gosh. So Pirates lose this one 12-5. And let's start this off with our Ryan's locks, actually, because it can kind of segue us in. Shocker. I hope everyone faded, because Ryan said Mitch Keller would get 17 and a half outs. That did not happen. He did not get that. And so,
What was Ryan thinking? This lineup has just been wearing pitchers out, right? Nobody's going 5 against them.
When I saw that, I'm like, he bet 17.5 in the over. Like he thinks Mitch Keller's going to go 6 innings today against this Brewers lineup. Like that's a choice.
But, that's bold. That was a bold choice. I'll give him that.
But Mitch Keller does not have a good game. 4 innings, 8 hits, 6 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. There's so many guys on base by Mitch Keller today. And I mentioned it before, but is second half Keller a problem? Yeah, he is, and he hasn't been great since the break. Since the All-Star, since the trade deadline. Sorry, trade deadline. However, like I said, the Brewers are just playing out of their minds today. And they have been recently. They're 32 games over 500. And so am I really surprised a guy who doesn't get that many strikeouts struggled against the Brewers today? Not really.
Yeah.
Wasn't helped because Jack Sawinski can't catch baseballs. But it wasn't a good
but he can hit. He can hit. I mean, the bat will play. The bat will play. So
yeah. 40 home run pace, Jack Sawinski.
He didn't knock anybody else out of the game today. So I consider this a win.
I don't think that I don't have anything nice to say about Jack Sawinski after what he did to Cruz yesterday, so I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah.
But what do you see from Mitch today?
He started out looking good. I mean, again, I put more of this on the Brewers than I do on Mitch. Look what they did to Paul Skeens. No offense, Mitch, but he's no Paul Skeens, right?
No, he's not.
They take pitches. They have tough at bats. They put pressure on the pitcher. They got him. I mean, they bested him. There are no excuses. This is. I mean, it was a bad outing by Mitch, but I credit the bad outing more to just the ultimate perfect approach for a team like the Brewers. And they executed it perfectly. It's
not like they're killing you with home runs. They're not killing you home runs at all.
Yeah.
But
they didn't have home run today.
They racked up 12 hits. They got 7 walks, and unlike the Pirates, when they get that many people on base, they score.
Well, they do this weird thing. They hit singles with guys on base, and then the guys they advanced like 2 bases. It's really strange how they'll have a guy on second base and only get a single, and he'll go all the way home. And where at the Pirates, it's an infield single or it's a blooper, right past the second baseman, and everybody just moves up one spot, and they never get the big hit. And right, they're just not. They don't do anything well versus a team that does everything well. And the results borne that out.
I mean, and like the Brewers hit like 500 with runners in scoring position this series. I think specifically when Joey Ortiz came up to bat in the 3rd inning, like when the floodgates really opened, even though Joey Ortiz isn't a good player, he's not a good player. I knew you just knew that the runs were going to come. And they did.
Right.
Like clockwork. Like you just could feel it in the stadium that they were.
For this game, you should have been on FanDuel doing in-game betting, right?
Yeah.
Well, because that way, this stuff was so predictable. You could have done well with a FanDuel today. I sadly live in a state that gambling is still not legal. It's not only a different state; it's in a different era. I'm in 1942, so it's. I mean, there's no surprise about today's game. I mean, there's just this is it's exactly what they've done all year. It's exactly what they did in the first 2 games of the series, and they just. I mean, the Pirates were never in this game. They weren't in this game when it was 0-0. They weren't in this game when it was 6-0. They weren't in this game when it was 6-3 and 6-5. They were never in this game. They were never in this series. They've never been in the same league as this Brewers team.
No, and I mean, again, the fielding was bad. So, is Keller good? No, but the fielding also didn't come up. Mitch probably gets a clean 3rd inning if Jack Sawinski does his job.
Yeah,
he doesn't, but I mean, that doesn't really excuse that 4th inning where he goes out and gives up 4 runs.
Right.
But it's just not good enough when again the Brewers do everything that the Pirates don't do, and it shows. But one thing that's really been concerning is that ever since the break, ever since the All-Star break, this pitching has been bad. Like, this is the strength of the team, and we can blame the trade deadline because we're going to talk about the bullpen because the bullpen has especially been atrocious. But the pitching hasn't been good since the deadline. And it kind of shows today, this series, another 12 runs given up. They gave up, Mitch gives up 6, but they give up 7, 14, and 12 runs this series. They pitched fairly well against the Reds, except for the last game. But, this is a pitching staff that is – do you think they're regressing, or do you just think, there's, a lack of energy here?
Well, I mean, there's a couple things. All right, the deadline came. We traded Ferguson, Falter, and Bednar. And a lot of people are attributing to that. I don't. They went to Colorado after the deadline. They weren't ready for Colorado. And they still haven't really recovered from that, I think. And also, pitching wears down in the second half. It's been notorious with the Pirates. Mitch Keller is a perfect example of that. He's yet to have a good, strong finish. I think maybe in 22 he did okay there toward the end, but he didn't really start pitching until May that year. So I mean, different. I don't think it has much to do with who we traded, right?
I don't either. Maybe in the bullpen. In the bullpen, maybe. Maybe a little, but I mean. Until today, Nicholas had come up and had a couple good outings. It wasn't, Cam Sanders had a couple good outings. I don't think it was a bad bullpen. It was just they had, they're in. I mean, again, they've been overused all year. They don't get help from their defense. They don't get help from their offense. They went to Colorado and got worn out and haven't really recovered from that. We don't have a general manager that makes kind of appropriate moves and, calls up the right people, does the right thing. So, here we are. Yeah.
Here we are in the dog days of summer swooning. And, we swooned before the break too. So,
yeah, especially from a starting pitching perspective, I really don't think it's about the guys you trade. I think you're right. Cause I mean, today it was announced Bailey Falter is now being sent to the Royals bullpen. Right. I think we kind of squeezed the best you could possibly get out of Bailey Falter, and even the Royals are like, he's not that good.
Right.
But this is a trend with Keller that he just really regresses in the second half. He throws so many pitches, so many innings in that first half, and I do have to imagine in some way this just has to be a really big mental drain for Mitch Keller to just not get that support over and over again. And he did get some support today. He got 5 runs, all from the batter Bryan Reynolds. But
after the fact, it was after the fact. I mean, I agree. Ben Cherington has created a losing culture here, and I think it wears on players. And I think guys like Mitch Keller and Bryan Reynolds and, Brian Hayes was suffering from it. Guys that have been here for this whole era have just got to be worn down and drained. And, and you get to this part of the season. I mean, they feel just like we do. Oh, come on, get it over with. Right. Let me move on to complaining about the Steelers, unimaginative offense or something, because this is just killing us.
The only guy who looked excited to be out there was Ronnie Simon today.
Yeah.
Ronnie Simon was the only guy with a smile on his face today.
Yeah.
I think he just happened to be back.
Right. And he's already surged up into being one of our top hitters,
Technically.
But I mean, the team, right. I mean, they gave up 6 runs early. Reynolds single-handedly gets them back with home runs in back-to-back innings. And, and then we just decide to, make sure, hey, let's not get carried away. We're not in this game. We're not a threat. And they gave up, 6 more runs. So.
Exactly. Yeah, and let's talk about Bryan Reynolds. We'll get to the offense now, but man, only offense comes from him, which is why it's good to have guys who hit the ball over the fence. Bryan Reynolds is the only source of offense. And his OPS is now officially over 700. It's taken until August 13th, but we finally have over 700 OPS Bryan Reynolds. It's finally happened.
Exactly. Our best player. And is it over? I thought maybe
it's 709.
Oh, it's 709. Oh my gosh, it's way over. You were selling them short.
Yeah. I mean, 2 home runs will do that. I mean, and he's been hotter in August. The metrics always said that he was playing way under like what he should be, even with the strikeouts. So I'm happy he's finally like heating up, but it's way too far gone for this. I felt nothing when that second home run left the yard, even though it was a 1-run game. I was like, oh, that's cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Did I have any confidence we would win? No.
Right.
That should have been a home run in a playoff race, a game that we needed to win to stay in the hunt.
Right.
To get close. And I should have been hyped and I should have been excited. And instead, we were 19 games under. And everyone kind of knew the Brewers was going to go score some more runs and put the game out of reach.
Right. I mean, I didn't think we were threatening. And I guess if Bryan Reynolds finishes strong, we'll feel better about him going into next offseason. So I guess there's that. It doesn't mean anything in this game. It doesn't mean anything for the rest of this season. It's like I said, we're 19 games under. We're 26 games out of first place. We're dreadful. But yeah, I mean, great. Bryan Reynolds had 2 home runs and 5 RBI, and now he's up to 13 home runs on August 13th.
Yep. Yeah,
and I said 1970, the Pirates had 21 hits. Yeah, and beat the Reds, but oh well.
And I'm really not worried about Reynolds next year. I'm worried that he might like fall into that level of like another DH we have on a team full of DHs for some reason.
Right.
But I mean, like you could always tell that like the metrics were there and like he was hitting the ball well. He was getting pretty unlucky. So I was never really worried about that. But at the same time, this is far too little, far too late. He and I know he knows this more than anyone else, but he is a big reason why this team is so bad. And he did it today.
He's absolutely the biggest disappointment of this season, right? There's nothing more disappointing than his performance this year, right? And now, I mean, O'Neal Cruz is trying to take that away from him, but right. It's the things we went into the season certain of was Cruz and Reynolds and I guess Kutch to a point, right? And Paul Skeens. And we didn't get it. We Cruz got off to a nice start, but it's been terrible since June. Reynolds has been terrible outside of like 2 weeks toward the end, like the end of May, and now here a little bit in August. It's just been absolutely dreadful. And had those guys performed to what our expectations would be, we'd probably be a lot better team because we lost a lot of 1-run games.
Yeah. Our record's actually, I saw it a while ago, it's actually closer to 500 than I would have guessed in 1-run games.
Yeah.
But let's also talk about the rest of the offense, because I said this on Sunday when the Pirates scored 8 runs against the Reds, but they put like 21 men on base. And I said it was a bad offensive day because they did not take advantage of what they had. The Pirates had 12 hits today. They had 4 walks, 16 runners on base. Terrible offensive day. Yeah. Sorry. I don't care if it's 5 runs, 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position, 10 runners left on base. Like this could, I think that's one of low-key one of the more frustrating things about this series is that if you look back, the Pirates put a lot of guys on, and this could have been a somewhat close series, and we just never delivered. And same thing today. They don't know how to hit with runners in scoring position.
This brings me back to my the point I've been driving home all season. It's a good day to fire Ben Cherington, right? Because the reason, right, you've got a bunch of terrible hitters, and one of them will get a hit here and one will get a hit there, but then the next 3 guys are batting under 120, right? And so, you can't get that big hit. You can't string them like the Brewers. Just stringing hits together, single, double, single, walk, double, single. They're just moving on down the line. And we'll, like I said, some guy will get an infield single, some guy will get walked, and then the next 3 guys strike out looking at pitches right down the middle. This offense is not built. It does not have the players. It does not have hitters to sustain any kind of big inning, and we don't have power. And we need to play like the Brewers play, right? The Brewers aren't all swinging from their heels trying to, jack it over the fence. They're just, slapping it into the gaps, into the, that sort of thing, and running the bases aggressively and smartly, and we don't do any of that.
It's just like if I told you, so like let's just say before the game started today, like where I was like, let's plan the post game. I already know what's going to happen. And I told you that Ronnie Simon scored twice and got 2 hits. Bryan Reynolds got 3 hits and 2 home runs. Tommy Pham and Nick Gonzalez all collected 2 hits. So like the first 5 guys in your lineup collect 9 hits.
Yeah.
And on top of that, Joey Bart reaches 3 times.
Yeah.
You would probably say that was going to be a pretty good offensive day, right? Like just getting those out. But it wasn't. Like, and I feel like it's a whole lot of the games this year where like you have enough guys on base a couple times, and the positions are like the situations are there, and we don't take advantage of it. So Brian had a great day.
Reynolds, Pham, and Gonzalez. That's your 3, 4, 5, and they get 7 hits. Mm-hmm. Right? You know, when you're 3, 4, 5, get 7, especially when your leadoff hitter gets 2. But you know, Horowitz didn't get any, and he's been playing well. You can't expect, but then you get down to Triolo with his 179, and Sawinski with his 118, and Canario came in for a couple of bats at his 199, and you see how it's hard. You know, sure, your 3, 4, and 5s are picking up some singles and whatnot, and I'm 100% okay, Steel City DW, 100% on board.
I'm more of a Triolo defender than most, but watching him watch strike threes down the middle almost set me over the edge today.
Yeah. I like him too. Again, he's a fine 26th man, you know. I mean, I could even live with him as a starter at third base in the same way that I could with Hayes. If everybody else could hit, right, you could say, all right, this guy can't hit, but it's elite defense. We're built on pitching. We need this. Mm-hmm. And, you know, every once in a while he runs into one. That's sort, you know, I could live with that. But when you have 4 guys, you know, day in, day out that are hitting less than 200, you can't carry that. We know, you know, we've got the answers on Sawinski and Triolo. I don't know why they're here. I don't know why Cam Devaney. I don't know why Nick York. And I'm not saying they're answers, but we know there is no questions left about Triolo and Sawinski. we have the answers there. So,
yeah, I mean, the only way I think I would have been more mad about the offense this series is if like we had to face Quinn Priester.
No.
I think if Quinn Priester pitched the series, that would have been
pour the salt right in the wound there. Yeah, yeah. Because he's having a great year, and he would have had the best outing of his career.
Oh my gosh, like 8 strikeouts.
100%. Yeah. He'd probably have double-digit strikeouts. He'd go 9.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk a little bit about the bullpen, because you mentioned earlier that you don't think that the trades have anything to do with it, but man,
yeah,
I'm not sure I agree with that, because this bullpen is garbage right now.
True.
I mean, Majinski comes in. He's supposed to be one of your better arms. Goes 2 innings, 2 runs.
But that's kind of my point, right? Mm-hmm. Majinski would have come in that situation had we not traded Bednar and Ferguson. That's Majinski's spot. That's Majinski's spot. So, yeah.
But the next guy, who should
the next guy wouldn't have roster,
been Kyle Nicholas comes in and just like cannot get it out. He can't find the strike zone. He gives up 4 runs. And then Cam Sanders is fine. Like, he gives us a base hit to Yelich that drives in 2, but it's hard for me to get too mad at him. Like, I think he actually had a pretty good at bat. I think Yelich, full credit to the Brewers for making life difficult. That was just a good at bat. Yeah. And then Mattson comes in and closes the door. But we talk all the time about this pitching depth. I'm not sure it's actually there, because this Pirates bullpen just got lit up by the Brewers. They got lit up.
Yeah.
All of the starting pitching ever since the trade deadline, they have been lit up. And part of that is that, you know, Santana came down from being superhuman for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, this is not a good bullpen as it stands.
No. I mean, the ERA of the pitching staff as a whole in August is over 6. I mean, the whole pitching staff has been terrible. You know, maybe it's because they were all hoping to get traded.
Yeah.
You know, and then got stuck here in baseball purgatory. No, this isn't baseball purgatory. This is baseball hell, right?
Yeah.
Purgatory. Maybe the Reds might be in purgatory. We're just,
Purgatory, like you have something to look forward to at the end of all the
yeah.
suffering.
This is
There's nothing to look
ants,
forward
right?
to here.
Yeah. No, we're just going down another level, right? That's at the end of the season when they announce they're extending Ben Sherrington.
Oh my gosh.
So I shouldn't even joke about that. My
Yeah,
goodness.
don't put that into existence.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, yeah, Kyle Nicholas is another one of those guys, that I've sort of run out of questions with. He's got great stuff. He can't control it. Um, it's a shame. And again, I think I also think our ability to develop pitching is a little overstated as well. The only real tangible person that we've drafted and developed, and we didn't develop Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens was perfectly formed when he got here. Jared Jones had some moments, but he looked bad in the second half, and he's hurt. And some of those other kids they're all in AAA. Big difference between AAA and here. We've been, to Charrington's credit, he's been good at claiming some guys off the scrap heap and getting some production out of them. But, maybe he's dipping into that well a little too much by giving up those guys at the deadline. And I was on board with trading them, not for what we got necessarily.
No.
So different conversation. But yeah, the bullpen, outside of a few guys here and there, like I said, Cam Sanders has pitched okay, but he could turn back into a pumpkin at any moment. Matson has been decent. Santana seems like he kind of got back on track after Santana, prior to being a Pirate, was always terrible in Colorado. So we got sort of what we expected. You know what I'm saying? Like, we shouldn't have expected much different there. And then, then he had another bad, but then it seems like he's straightened back out. I don't want to give up on my guy Santana yet. But yeah, they need to do something. They need to, again, it went from being losses that were all on the offense now to being total team losses. Everybody's pitching in now because 5 runs is enough, should be enough to win a game. Yeah. And for the first months of the season, 5 runs was enough for us to win most of our games. And now it doesn't matter what we do. We're just we're not very good.
I think what's the worst part about seeing the bullpen like this, like give up all these runs that they get, again, give up like a ton of runs today, 6 runs, I think, is that like a month ago we were discussing about how like one of the shining spots in this team was like once you got to the 7th inning, you had 3 guys you could hand the ball off to, and this game is over. And that was a really good feeling to have.
Yeah.
And I was for trading Bednar, also not for what we got. But, like that was a strength of the team and something that if you were looking forward to in 2026, that was something that you could hold on to, even if Bednar and Santana are rentals, which they would be. That's something that you can build off of. Now, though, are we building something with Kyle Nicholas, who, couldn't pitch well today? Are we building something with I guess you can build something with Isaac Matson. Yeah. Are we building something with Cam Sanders? Are we building something with Carmen Majinski? I don't know.
Right. And look, to get through a season, you need about 20 relievers, right? You bring up a lot of guys. So there's always going to be a place for a Cam Sanders and maybe Matson. Matson looks like he's sort of stepped a little bit above that level. Majinski, but are you ever going to feel comfortable when Kyle Nicholas comes into a game?
No,
I'm not. Right. I mean, we've seen this movie. We've seen this movie quite a few times. They need to get, have better people and put them in places to succeed. You're asking Kyle Nicholas to do stuff that he's shown you time and time again he can't do. Kyle Nicholas it's okay if he's down there at AAA and you bring him up here now when the things get thin, and hopefully you can use him in situations where he can't hurt you too much. But to count on him to put the fire out, it sounds like a bad plan, right? You should plan better. And so, I don't necessarily have an answer. Maybe you bring up one of those guys.
It's all about finding those guys in free agency and off the waiver flyer. It's about finding your next Dennis Santana. It's about finding your next Caleb Ferguson for cheap in free agency.
Right.
That's how we have to build a bullpen. Maybe as a throw in a trade, you would get a David Bednar. It's harder said than done. Sorry, it's easier said than done.
Easier said, yeah.
I was trying to do the opposite there. It's easier said than done, but if I'm going to be a little positive today, which is hard, it's something Ben Cherington has shown that he's done before.
It's really the only thing that he's done well. So
yeah.
So right.
I mean, I'll give him credit. I'll give him more credit than you will for the pitching development, but yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not going to deny, if nothing else, he's given us some really good trade chips, right? Like if you don't bring these guys up and you trade them for an actual hitter or something, because the perception is that we're very good at developing some young arms. I do think it's a little overstated at this point, but at AAA, it looks good for the most part. And he has done a good job with getting those guys off the scrap heap and putting them in the bullpen and getting production out of them. He's scraping the bottom of the barrel now with like Johan Romero and Genesis Cabrera. Is he still here? I'm not even sure. But I
think I think he got DFA'd. Yeah. Could be wrong.
Okay, yeah. But he. You got rid of two guys, like Lawrence was injured, Meza was injured. You're thin now. You're thin, and you're thin at a time of year where pitchers' arms are dragging anyway. And we've certainly used our relief corps quite a bit. You might want to bring up some. Would it be a terrible idea to bring up someone like Bubba and let him throw an inning here and there? I don't know. That's for smarter people than me. And Ben Cherington has never seemed very interested in winning games. He's especially not interested in winning them now. So, I wouldn't be surprised if he's trying to angle for a better draft pick at this point because he thinks he's going to be here to make it.
Mm-hmm. Well, much like the Pirates losing a lot, they have lost a lot. Ryan has also lost a lot with his FanDuels. So make sure keep fading him every time we get a new pick. We'll get a new pick coming soon for you. Make sure to do the opposite of what Ryan says. But I think that's all I got for this game. I got nothing else to say.
Bad game, bad series, throw it away. Who's next? The Cubs?
Yeah. Oh, please tell me it's not the Cubs.
I believe it's the Cubs. And,
oh, my gosh.
It's the Cubs and then the Blue Jays.
It is the Cubs. Oh, my gosh.
Right. So it's not looking any better. Paul Skeens might be pitching again soon, I think on Monday or something, they said. So
the Cubs in Chicago too. No, not like this.
Yeah. So, but on the plus side, there is something very positive occurring for the Pirates. That's tomorrow. They're off. So, yes. And there will be a NSN live show. So
NSN live. Yeah, you're right. Yes, there will be.
There is that. So we're still going to keep cranking out the content regardless of how bad this season goes. Occasionally, we might give away sandwiches. Yeah. So stick with us for the rest of the season. And
listen, Tom, I agree with you, but I've also watched the Pirates at Wrigley for the last 6 years, and I got to say that's pretty scary for me.
Yeah, they stole your 20s. They're stealing my golden years. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
But we're gonna get out of here. Thank you everyone for joining us on a Wednesday afternoon.
But yes, there's so yes, subscribe and like and join and embrace and be one of us. Be one of us. And
we'll see you later. Have a good one, guys.
Thanks, guys. See you.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in, whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube. If you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.